You should do this at home, right? So have the person punch and take your hand open to closed to make that strike work. So that's just like when you do the form and you come back. So when that comes, you get used to what? Because the motion of closing the fist right at the point of impact, that creates striking power. Also, you see how it sweeps the hand aside? That gives me that line. Now if I want to step on his feet, oops, you see that? Or do whatever kind of follow-up, or do that jigsaw motion, it's available because I kind of created a little bit of shock. Because sometimes you just kind of go like that. You think, well, it's not really room for me to do anything in there. He's going to hit me back. But if you practice that motion enough, you get good at putting a little bit of what? Power into that hit. And the explosiveness is from the what? Closing of the hand and the dropping of the elbow. That allows you to practice that, right? It's really good to practice that. You're already practicing in the form, but you don't think of that in the form, right? You're just thinking, oh, this is stupid, and then you do the next thing, right? But that's so important, or it wouldn't be in every section, right? Pretty much every section of Wing Chun form has that. Now JKD, they don't do the forms anymore. So they lost that aspect. In Filipino martial arts, we still have the gunting. But a lot of times they don't express open to closed. So when I started in Kali, we used to have to do the gunti with our hand open and then close our fist. That's how we would do it. He would just hold his hand out, we would clap our hands and then make the back fist or hammer fist. And since the, what do you call it, the expansion, or it's much more common to practice Pantukan or Kali or whatever word they use, a lot of that stuff has died down. Because they go, this is silly, why do I have to clap my hands? Well, it's because you're getting used to, right? Unless you walk around with your fists clenched, right? Your hand's probably going to start open. If you're having a conversation with somebody and he calls me a pendejo, then my hand, I'm probably like, what? And then he punched me, then my what? My hand will close when it hits his arm. My hand's probably open. If my fist's already clenched and we're talking, why didn't I already hit him, right? If my fist is clenched, it's coming back from your face. I'm not going to show you, I'm going to punch you first, which we're going to do later, right? So the idea is when the hand starts, that's where the hand closes. And then the hand follows. Now you can open it and do satsao, or you can keep it closed and do a guachoi, or a hammer fist. You can add and you guys, there's a lot of different levels here. So if you want to add follow-up strikes and go into a biset or something like that, decide that between your training partner. I don't want you to just limit yourself to the entry. But what I'm focusing on now is the pathway and the trapping and how to utilize that, right? So make sure when you understand that strike is from an open hand to a closed hand. It's not already closed. That's a little bit different, actually, in the way it will feel to the person you're hitting. Because the act itself, see how that creates space? Sometimes just hitting it doesn't create as much space. My arm bends sooner and then I end up a little closer. But if I kind of create that space, now I have the pathway to get my moves out, and then directing traffic is much easier. So that's just one tip to do that, okay? Any question on that there? All right, so we're gonna move on to the next thing, so you can take the gloves off. So let's just say in this event now, the hand is coming up, but it's not punching. So he's bringing the hand up, and this is already in an aggressive manner. In other words, he's already verbalized his intent, but he hasn't manifested it by punching yet. As he's verbalizing his intent and his hand rises, that's when I take the first pox out, right? So when he says, I'm gonna punch you, I don't wait until he punches. That's what we call what?
Preempt.
What bridge is that?
Capture.
I'm capturing the bridge. It's just not both bridges, because he only brought, but maybe he's gonna put his finger in my face. If you put your finger in my face, I'll bite it off, right? Or break it. I'm not gonna let you do that, right? So your finger come up, you might get hit, right? So that's why I want you to practice. Just do this. I'm gonna do it, you do it, Doc. So I want you to practice when the hand comes up, that's your bridge. That's your first bridge. Because I'm like this. As soon as that hand gets there, you already what? Hitting me, right? So don't do this. Don't give your training partner the second hand. I want you to not hit it, but I want you to get used to what? That's how you go. Because this person might not have the hand up, they're not gonna, and you get too much in the habit of this. You feed me. So you get really, really dull, and where's my strike really going?
Out to his hand.
It's going, and don't put the hand up. Now my habit is what? Is to miss. Same thing in Filipino martial arts, we practice missing an awful lot, don't we? That's why whenever I hit, I move back so I can practice what? And if we want to actually hit, we use a soft stick. Because you get in the habit of missing, you're going to miss in real life. Imagine if you went to the target range and you practice shooting next to the target. Right? You don't know where you're, right? There's no way to tell exactly where your rounds are striking. Same thing here. So I want to know, well, I'm hitting him right here. Or I'm hitting him right here with the blade of my knuckles. Right? Or the tip of my finger. Well, I don't want you to build you, but so I practice that. So I'm here. Not this. Right? Don't do hillbilly Christmas. Right? Just go like that. His hand comes up. Every time his hand comes up, hit him. That's called a flying bridge.
Sure.
Okay, let's try that.